How's it going, everybody? Adam here at Maple Monkey Media. So glad you could take some time out of your day to stop by and see what's happening here at the channel. If you can tell, we're in the bus, and we're moving on to the next progress until we do any more onto the floor. We're moving on to the windows over here. So we have 3 windows already done and back in place. I have the next 3 taken out, and I'll show you what's been going on. And if you're ever doing a Skoolie transformation and you're onto the windows yourself, maybe this will be a little bit of motivation and some extra insights. So I'll tell you what I found in doing the first 3 and moving on to the next 3. Alright, so here we are. Have my windows all taken out there and put back in for the first 3. Have my panels all taken off so you can see what it looked like back here. And if you have kind of the same design for your bus, if you can see here that this panel under here, it'll attach to the bottom of your windows. So you have to make the decision if you're going to cut out or drill out these rivets to get this on. What I did was I just took off all the screws along here and down there, popped out the windows, and then I took my zip cut and I just cut along here, so that way I don't have to take off this extra piece of metal that the window goes against, because as you can see over here, these are the rivets right here. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to take anything off with those, so I just decided to leave them and leave that flange on there, because the bottom of this window right under here, that sits onto it. So I got all the windows all cleaned up here. What an absolute mess it is trying to get this old tar off. I'll show you when we take off the next windows back here, but it is just absolutely messy, sticky, gunky. So I have to go back over with my drill, and I'm gonna clean up the edges of these windows. I am not excited at all that it is September. Happy September if you are. Not a fan of the weather that's coming up. I absolutely love the heat of the summer, not the fall, and especially not what's coming after that. We have approximately 24 days left before we move. So we're gonna get the bus done. We're gonna get the well, not done, but we're gonna get the windows all done so we're not having any leaks, so we can get our subfloor down and we can start framing in everything. So let's get on. We'll get these 3 windows all cleaned up, and we'll get them back into their designated places. And then there's 12 windows on each side of the bus. And after I get these 3 in place, that'll be half of the first side of the wall all done. 6 more, might be able to get it done today. And then we are back on with rust proofing the floor. We'll get that all converted, get all the floor converted. We'll get the rust proofing down. We'll seal it all in, and then we can get our subfloor in place. Exciting times, awesome stuff. Hope you're having a blessed day. Let's get into it. Here we have security guard Max on patrol, keeping us safe from all the intruders. Good boy. Hey Max, come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, come on, boy. Oh, hi there. Oh, he says hi there. What's going on in here, he says. Hey. Hey, bud. Good boy? You good boy? Oh, yes. He says, I am the goodest of good boys. All right, we'll get you guys up onto the tripod here, and we'll get going with these windows. So what I'm just doing right now is I have my drill with my wire brush attachment. Have most of the stuff from the old windows all taken care of, but I'm just going to go around and clean up the bottoms and the sides and the top of the window, getting ready to get a nice flush clean seal when I put my butyl tape on the window here. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. So there's the old I'm gonna say tar membrane that was on the windows before. You can see the residue left on the bottom of the window here, so that's why I'm taking my wire brush attachment and just getting all that rid of. So I mean, this stuff is just super sticky. It's like a tar sealant that's on it, and it's a little bit thicker than what I have, but we're gonna make it work. Okay, so we're just gonna get ready to get our window in place. This is our butyl tape that we're using. This is stuff that they use to seal the windows and everything on RVs. So I've been recommended to use this stuff, and so far so good. It's working great. The size that we have is 1/8 by 3/4 inch by 30 feet. Obviously there's different sizes, but this is the stuff that we got. So I'll get this opened up and we're gonna get our windows in place, and then we'll move on to the next windows, and I'll show you what I mean by some certain things that I said earlier. Okay, so here we have our butyl tape, and I've had the best success in putting it onto the frames itself. I'll show you here, there's a lip on both of these sides here, so if you don't get it perfectly positioned right on your window frame, that your butyl tape's gonna hit this and it's gonna affect everything else from sealing properly. So I've found that I'm just gonna stick it on here, and it saves that hassle, and then I just plug my window right in place. So what I'm just doing is I'm making sure that the butyl tape is on the inside of the seam of the fold that I said earlier. So get that all patted down and all stuck in place. Then we'll just go around the rest and set it in place. Some old tar that was still on it. So you can kind of see here what I'm trying to do. Hopefully, there's this lip right here. So I'm just trying to get the edge of the butyl tape on the inside of that lip right there. So here's the lip. And then what I want to do is try and get my butyl tape on the inside of that lip. So I'll just keep coming down and pressing it onto the inside here. All right, so we're coming in to the last section where we're gonna put our butyl tape, and that's the upper section. So the stuff that came off of it was a little bit thicker than the stuff that I have on now. And what I'm doing and what I found works is I'm just going to take my strip of butyl tape and I'm going to roll it. I'm gonna press it together to make kind of an oval or kind of a circle that I'm gonna lay on top of that bead. There's a little bit more space in the top than there is on the sides and the bottom. So me rolling my butyl tape, it'll prevent any wind or any rain or anything coming down from there. Even though there's a drip edge on the outside, we want it to be, we don't want our windows to have any heat loss. So I found that rolling the butyl tape works the best, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second, and we'll get that on, and then we'll get that window in place. Okay, so here's what I am talking about. Here's our butyl tape here. Right here, there's the strip that we need. So what we're gonna do is we're just going to roll it, just like that. Just go down all the way and keep rolling it. So see how it forms kind of a circle there? That gives us more thickness to the top there, and we're gonna get that right onto the top, and it'll act a little better than if it were just a strip, because on my previous windows I found that this strip wasn't quite thick enough. So I tried this on my last window, and it has great connection, great adhesivity, and we're going to do that with this strip. We're going to get it on the window and we'll get our window in place. All right, so we have it all good to go. This is the strip that we turned into a roll. So you can see it's circular there. Big difference from a regular piece of butyl strip. Super easy. And we're gonna get this onto the window next. So same process. We're just gonna find our ends, butt up our ends, and just stick it in place. Get out of there. But before we get the window in place, I'm just going to make my life a little bit easier. So I have my heat gun here. As you see, we have this emergency exit sticker. Going to get rid of that. So I'm just going to use my heat gun and a scraper to get that off before we put it in place to make my life a little bit easier. So let's get off all of our paper here on our butyl tape. Beautiful. We'll just press it around. There we go. There we go. There. What I was doing to line up the window, on the bottom seal of the window, there's a drip edge. So you can see that the drip edge obviously has to go over the bottom of your window. So I get my bottom lined up first, make sure the drip edge is in, and then I just follow it all the way up, pressing along either of the sides. And as you see, it went into place no problem. So that's great. We have 4 windows done, 2 more in this section, and then we'll move on to the next section of 3. And I'll show you what I mean by what I was talking about earlier with the rivets and deciding whether you want to cut the rivets or cut the steel. So exciting times. Slow progress is better than no progress. Woo, 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 woo. On to the next window. Beautiful. Another one bites the dust. Oh, another one bites the dust. Well, we have one more window to put in this section of 3 that we're doing. Then we have half of one wall done. I'm taking them off in sections of 3 because that's the easiest. We have the panels that we still need to cut out. And after we get this window in, I'll show you how I've been taking out my windows, and hopefully it might be able to help somebody in their process if they're doing a Skoolie conversion as well, to save some a little bit of hassle. Hiya! Hey, hey, hey. Very nice. Yes, very nice. Beautiful. Beautiful. What was there? 6 windows. Bob's your uncle. All right, well, we have our 6 windows in right here. We are moving on to the next section. So we got 1, 2, 3 windows right here, and here's our panel that we're going to be taking off. So we have to get all these screws out. We have to get this upper plate out because, as you see, we can't take our window out because this is covering it. So we just got to take out our screws there, undo our wiring, and that'll come all the way to right here. So that'll be the next 3 windows. 1, 2, 3. And then after that, it's just the back section, and then we can move on to the other side. So let's get going. I'll get unscrewing all these screws, get that panel done, and I'm gonna have to cut it out, and I'll show you what I mean and what I did with the panels taking off up there as well. Okay, well, we got all those taken care of, and if you can see here, these black strips here, they're what hold our windows in place. So we're gonna need to unscrew those, and then after those are taken off, we can pry and pull our windows out. Definitely save these screws for sure. Gonna need them to put these back on. Then, just like that, comes off. Easy peasy. We'll get these other 2 done, and then we can start taking apart our windows. All right, well, here's the stuff that we got done. Here's the stuff that we're doing, and you can see the old tar stripping there. It's just absolutely nasty stuff. It is a mess. See, it's starting to come off here. I'm not going to touch it too much just because I want to put gloves on. And then this is the third one. Here's what the windows are looking like, where the tar stripping was on the windows. So before we go any further, we have to get these frames all cleaned up, get all this stuff taken off over here. We have to get our window frames, we have to get all of that stuff on the side of the frame all taken up as well. And here's what I was talking about earlier. So you see here, this panel we have taken off, right? So we just pulled out the windows, and this panel is crimped and riveted right into here. So you have to decide if you want to maybe cut right here. I've seen some people do that, but what I'm doing is I'm just following the 90-degree angle here, and I'm cutting it there. That way it still leaves the strip that the window goes against, and we don't have to deal with these rivets over here. We can just leave those and pop the new window with the ceiling right on top of those. So that's the next order of business. Well, actually, I'm going to get these this stuff cleaned up. Then the next order of business, we'll get this panel cut off. That's why I'm doing them in sections of 3, because as you see here, there's the end. There's the beginning from the panels that we already have taken off. There's insulation behind that. We'll get the insulation taken off of, and we'll get them cleaned up, and then we'll start putting the windows back in place. After that, we just have 3 more on this side, and then we're moving over to this side over here. Rat's nest of wires. We're going to have some things to figure out with the different module boxes over here for the emergency exit. Same thing. There's a rat's nest of wires just right up there in that corner as well. So I have to do some test runs, because I know that this module right here, if that's closed, the bus won't start. So we'll have to do some playing around, and I'll have to get it taken care of when we move to the new property, because we're going to be using the bus as our moving vehicle. The day is just flying by. It's coming on probably about 1 o'clock, so I'm going to take a little break, get some lunch in my gullet. I'll get these windows and window frames cleaned up, and our goal is to see if we can't get those other 3 put in place. But it is a process, and it's a dirty mess trying to get that old tar stripping off there. It's an arduous process because right now it's about 30 degrees and it just is sticky and tacky, and you start getting it with a scraper and it doesn't even come off. It just moves to another spot. But there were some tips and tricks that I've kind of come up with along the way that make life easier, just with scraping it in a certain direction and things of that nature. So I mean, if you're doing a Skoolie conversion, these are the things that you're going to have to learn as well. I could only imagine being, the person years and years ago doing this conversion, and there was no internet, no YouTube, and you had to just figure everything out on the whim. So thankful that there's videos out there and that there's information out there from other people. And if you're doing a Skoolie process, Skoolie restoration kind of thing yourself, just stick with it. It's not fun. I tell you, I was getting some frustrated getting those first 3 windows out, and just kind of learning what entails with everything like that. Each window you do, it gets a little bit easier and a little bit more knowledge to make the next window go a little bit smoother, but it's a dirty process regardless. What are you doing, Max? Oh. Careful, it's dirty in here. It's dirty. What are you doing, good boy? What are you doing, good boy? He's like, I'm being a good boy, that's what I'm doing. Oh, that's not coming off too bad. Look at that. Oh, yes. 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 Oh, nasty steps. Nasty steps. Ugh. Okay, so we're gonna get on, and we're gonna get on with cutting right here where I was saying that the rivets are coming through here, but we need to keep this piece. Well, we don't need to, but I'm going to. So I'm just gonna follow the edge of this plate right here, get that all cut off. That'll be able to come off, and I'll throw that out, get the windows cleaned up, and then we can start putting in the windows again. Figure I'd give you a little close-up of what I'm talking about. So here's the lip. Rivets are on the other side. That needs to stay right here. This lip right here that you see, that needs to stay or go. Obviously it'd be more work to cut through and to drill through the rivets. So that is why that I'm cutting it right along the seam right here. That's the one that we just did, and see, here's the difference right here. This one folds up, comes into the top here, but we need to be able to either keep or get rid of that. Time is of the essence, so that's the easiest way. So I go down all three of those windows, get that cut off, and then that way that little piece that's right here, that's still be able to left there. I can leave the rivets, and my windows will go right on to the butyl tape that I'll put right on here. Right, so we have her cut. Let's see if we can get her taken off. Oh, a little bit more right there. Where's my grinder? There it is. A little bit more right here. And just like that, we have our next panel that's off. So there's what it's looking like right now. So our next order of business is to come around, clean up all around here, get all that black gunk off there. Some areas aren't looking too bad, others are horrible. That is just the most time-consuming process. Time-consuming. So that'll probably take a couple hours to do those. Plus, we still have to come over here and get all of our windows all prepped up as well. So yeah, it'll be a good couple, 2 or 3 hours to do this, I would suspect, because this stuff is just super sticky, and it's just like just like a tar. I'll grab a little bit here and see. You can just took a little bit off, but it left so much more as well. Like, oh, Max, I gotta do some grinding. Go. Come on. What? What are you barking at? Huh? I know. Stupid thing's not coming out, right? I know. You just being a good boy? Yeah? Hey! What are you barking at? You leave those people alone. Well, we're getting there. Was just grinding off that screw that broke off so we can open up our windows fully. Gonna get this, gonna get another window in place, and then we have 2 more frames and 2 more spots over here that we'll clean up. but we'll get some butyl tape on the window, and we'll get another window in place. Yeah! Woo! All right, well, we're back to cleaning up the other windows. We got all this gunk to clean up on this one, and then same with this one. And then those are the last 3 windows there on that section. Then we have another 3 on this section. Bob's your uncle.
All right, y'all. Yeah, it's time for another window. Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Woo! Alrighty, well, great progress has been made today. We got, what do we have? We have 5 windows in so far. I'm going to get this last one right there in off camera. This is going to be where I'm going to end the video. I have to start another video. Going to be doing some canning from the garden / not from the garden. But anyway, it is going to be a video of making chow chow. So it'll be my first time making chow chow. Water bath canning, that's what I'm going to be working on now. That's going to be the next video after this, I am going to assume. So muchly appreciate y'all checking out the Windows video. Gonna get this last window taken care of. God bless y'all. Keep that stick on the ice. There is no failure. You just gotta keep on going, and your dreams only have to make sense to one person, and that person is you. So like I said, God bless. Adam from Maple Monkey Media signing off for today's episode. Woo, 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 woo. Until next time, y'all. Peace. God bless. See you later. Woo. Say bye, Max.
See you later, everybody.